people probably know what
You
we're
probably
talking
know the
about.
tweet. It's
Yeah.
from Arash Markazi he covers the Dodgers, covers all sorts of things, including pro wrestling from time to time. But he took a picture of some nuts, and not the ones that got that station in Mexico in trouble for the solar stuff. These nuts right here. Arash says the Arizona Diamondbacks won the National League and played in the World Series last season, but at a grocery store a block from Chase Field, they sell Dodgers and Giants peanuts in addition to Diamondbacks peanuts. The manager, he's doing some good investigative work here. The manager said the Dodgers peanuts have been the best selling.
Wow, that holds so much weight.
Guys, our fandom is broken, apparently.
Well, if the manager said
so. If the manager said so, he has to be right. Okay, first of all, this is where me and him disagree on this.
I think I agree with you more than I maybe wanted to.
Yeah, I get it.
I think I've warmed up to your perspective a little bit.
Well, because, okay, we live in a state that has spring training, right? So there's an obvious connection there that most likely, if you go,
these were sold at the ballpark.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Then I stand by my position.
I think
you're dead wrong, Derek.
These are sold at Fry's downtown across the street from the Footprint Center. That is the local grocery store that he's referring to, making it sound like a little mom and pop shop.
Yeah, it's not that. Yeah.
It's a Kroger's.
It's a
Kroger's
Kroger
a national
store.
brand. They're in 35 states across the nation. Okay,
and they go by a bunch of different names.
They do.
For some inexplicable
call themselves
reason.
Kroger, which is real.
Yeah.
Really weird to us. But anyway,
Vons or King Supers in Colorado.
Yeah. The point.
I could do this all day, Derek.
The point being is
Food Lion.
He's trying to take a shot here at I think Diamondbacks fans or the Diamondbacks or the culture here or this Fry's. I don't know who he's mad at for selling peanuts with other teams' logos on them, which is just fucking crazy, Jesse. Look, if there are peanuts being sold with any team, they're going to push them to the ballparks. Or to the Fry's closest to the ballpark, right? We are in a city where there are 15 spring training teams here, including the Giants, including the Dodgers, that most likely stock Giants and Dodgers fan apparel and such at the stores that are close to those stadiums, by Camelback Ranch, by the one in Scottsdale. And thus, there's going to be products that don't necessarily have the Diamondbacks logo just here in town. Forget the fact that it's a national brand and they might just ship different teams to different areas thinking that, oh, hey, there's other fans in that state, right? Like and even Dodgers fans in the comments are saying, where you go to the ones in LA, there's Angels ones and there's Giants ones and stuff. Like, this isn't an exclusive thing to this one Fry's in downtown Phoenix, even though he wants to kind of make it out to be that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess my question, like, do you think that these were not leftover items? Like, it's not like, oh, it's Scottsdale Stadium. They had some extra. They had some extra. I'm asking.
I have no way to know that. Peanuts seem like the kind of thing that lasts a long time. I don't know. Like, I feel like they have a long shelf life. Am I wrong?
If these were items that simply went unsold at Giants spring training games, Dodgers spring training games, I guess I get it. Like, sure, throw them in the local supermarket, and maybe I guess they're going to expire or whatever. See if you can sell them. That would be somewhat acceptable to me. However, I do think that Kroger is in the interest of making money and selling things that they think will sell and will make them money.
Right.
And they have determined that it is in their best interest to stock not only Diamondbacks peanuts, but also San Francisco Giants and Los Angeles Dodgers. And I simply think that is indicative of the sports market that Phoenix is at large. This is not something. This is not something that we only see at Kroger, Derek. How many times do you see Dodgers apparel, Giants apparel, Yankees apparel? If you go to basically any apparel store, outside of the ones that are like super local, that are like really dialed in on just Arizona sports, you see Dodgers stuff, you see stuff from other teams all over the place in Arizona.
It's because, yes, it's a good business idea, considering that there are going to be opposing fans of these teams also going to these baseball games. But this is not anything about the Phoenix market. This is what Kroger does in every market. They are going to put teams that come regularly to that city
Right.
also out. So it's not something.
And they know that if they sell Dodgers products and Giants products in their grocery store,
they're going to
that
sell
people
more.
will buy them.
They're going to buy them.
And that's all I'm saying is that.
What is all you're saying? That there are opposing fans that attend baseball games here in Arizona?
I'm
just
saying
like there are in every other fucking state.
No, but it's different in Arizona. It's different in Arizona.
Of course
that's
it
why.
is.
That's why.
Of course it is. We've established that.
When the Dodgers are in town, this isn't like any kind of breaking news. When the Dodgers are in town, when the Giants are in town, those teams have a lot of impact in this market.
It's because those teams have been around for a very long time. Their spring training games have been played here for a long time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of transplant.
I don't dispute that.
If you threw fucking Cubs peanuts out there, they would probably sell too.
And that also makes my point.
It doesn't really make your point.
It
It's like you're shaming them, but it's a national company that has no local ties here. So they have no loyalty to only sell Diamondbacks products. This isn't in the stadium. This isn't the guy on the fucking corner trying to double dip and be also like, I got Dodgers ones too. No, this is Fry's, which is part of Kroger's, which is a national brand that has stores in 35 fucking states. They're going to do whatever makes them money, but this is nothing to do with the Arizona sports market and has everything to do with this being a national company and him making a big deal over a national company having a store here and selling fucking peanuts for more than one baseball team. But if you go into Dick's, guess what? They don't just sell Diamondbacks gear at Dick's. If you go into Champs or whatever still exists, if there's any malls that still exist, they're going to sell other teams' gear too. It's the way it works. You just can't get all up in fucking arms. When I was a kid, I used to buy other teams' gear just because I liked those players. I didn't really have that kind of loyalty. I just wanted like the players' gear of teams I liked and players I like. This whole thing is crazy to me to make a big deal out of it. And I feel like it's trying to shame Diamondbacks fans for not being good enough fans is what I feel.
No, it is.
It is.
Derek,
it absolutely is.
Derek, where were you?
Like they want you to be up in arms about it and like go down there and burn this fucking Fries to the ground.
Is they like the person who sent this tweet? Are we talking about
Arash
Markazi?
He's a Dodgers
reporter.
reporter.
Yeah, sure. Like I think he clearly has ill intent here. Like he's trying to make a point about Diamondbacks fans that I don't necessarily agree with. But at the same time, I think it's telling that there's a lot of places in this city, in this state, where you will find a lot of apparel, a lot of items tied to other teams, and that is not as normal in other places as it is in Arizona.
It's the same
That's
thing
all
with
I'm saying.
It's the same thing as the versus dog. It's the same thing as the versus dog.
Yeah.
You sound as up in arms as people about the versus dog, right? When that's catering to the opposing fans.
I don't really.
And people find that to be fucking crazy when a lot of people have come to terms with the fact that without opposing fans, that stadium would be empty a lot of times.
Right. And that also makes my point. You're doing a better job making my point than I am, Derek.
I mean, Jesse, it's not. It's something that's a fact. This city had spring training long before it had the Diamondbacks. It had teams that were affiliated with the Giants here long before the Diamondbacks ever existed and that we were fans of. And thus, when you're a fan of that, you're a fan of the organization and you just become a fan. Like, it's hard to break those ties when generations of your family have rooted for a team and now you're supposed to just root for a different team. Luckily, people are choosing to do that, choosing to root for the Diamondbacks. The younger fans, some of you great ass fans, you amazing people in our chat that are young people that have been rooting for this team your whole lives. God bless you. Thank you. You are the reason why this is going to change for us eventually. But it takes time because people hold their allegiances to teams that have existed for 100 years and not one that's been around for 20, right? And that's the way
There's truth to that, for
you know. But it's also the fact that we're a big transplant city. We have a lot of different team love here. And again, these national companies, especially, they don't give a shit about loyalty to the local market. They're going to do whatever makes them money at the end of the day. And that's the reason why this is more of an indictment of Kroger's, you know, being just kind of slutty with their peanut selection than it is about Diamondbacks fans feeling shame for their team. Like, oh, hey, we have opposing fans here. We are always going to have opposing fans here. And that's the way it is.
I acknowledge, the last thing I'll say, I acknowledge where you're coming from and the case you're making for why it is the way it is. Like, it's not all that hard to explain why this is the case, but it is the case that there are a lot of fans of other teams here. And just as a general sports fan growing up, you know, rooting for the Arizona sports teams when I was a kid, that's something that I never liked. I would never be on board with any sports town like openly embracing its rival teams within that market.
Sure. And that's fair too. But again, this guy,
I just need
just
to
like
know.
Craig Morgan, he's a known troublemaker.
I will never forget where I was when the Dodgers won the Peanuts World Series. I will never forget it. That is huge.
It's really the only thing that matters.
That is huge for them.
Peanut sales is really the way.
A Mickey Mouse Disney
forget
championship,
rings, right?
and now Peanuts sold baseball club. Those are two insane moments for Dodgers fans everywhere, and I'm really I got to tip of the cap to you guys.
Yeah.